At the risk of upsetting you, I'm going to start out by saying this. I stayed up really late last night to watch Downton Abbey. I'm a huge Monty Python fan.
Okay, yeah.
Am I getting a real slice of what life was like in England when I watched Python and Downton?
Not regular life. I guess you're getting a good viewing of what upper class life is like, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, do you get hit with that a lot about, oh, you're from England, so it must be all tea?
Downton Abbey especially.
Yeah.
Well, a few different things.
Well, what are some of those
foods,
things?
like tea and crumpets.
All right. Fish and chips?
Fish and chips,
yeah.
Definitely.
All right, so I'll set the record straight. It's not like that, is it? I mean...
a few of those are definitely correct.
Okay.
But mostly, like, no.
What was the adjustment like to come to the States?
Honestly, like, for me, it was really easy. I've heard of a lot of people who just haven't been able to make it. Like, it's been too hard for them to be away from home and everything else. But for me, it was really easy. I think the guys on the team were really helpful with that. Just because we hung out all the time,
sure.
Like, it's like a second family. So,
well, I think about you a lot, and you and HyVee and Emil and a couple others. You guys don't go home for breaks. And maybe some of you don't even go home during the summers. Is that hard?
That is hard, especially in Christmas time, because Christmas is such a big thing. Seeing your family, and then you got New Year's as well, which I know is a huge thing in Spain. So,
it is.
So I know HyVee was very disappointed he couldn't be back home for New Year's Eve.
Sure.
But Christmas time especially I think that's the hardest over summer anyway. So
what makes it worthwhile?
Just playing basketball, like, that's all I wanted to do my whole life, and honestly, like, I knew this was going to happen, so I've been preparing for it all my whole life. So really playing basketball every day and just being able to do what I love. So yeah. You
knew it was going to happen. What do you mean by that?
Like, ever since I was a kid, I knew I was going to play college basketball. It was always my dream. I would have literally, like, I would have killed to play college basketball anywhere. So.
You talked about some people had an easier transition. You seem to have an easy transition to American collegiate basketball.
Yeah.
What has that particularly been like for you?
I think I was well prepared for it through junior basketball in England. Like, firstly, basketball in England isn't big at all. They're big on soccer, big on rugby, not big on basketball. First league basketball is small in England. Like, I played in the top amateur league when I was like 16.
Okay.
So I think that prepared me a lot. Like, prepared me playing against bigger players, playing against stronger players, and I think that's why my transition was smooth. Also, I played national teams. That helped my transition a little bit as well. But overall, like, it was a smooth transition because of the stuff that prepared me. You're
playing point guard this year. You played a little point last year and off the ball a little bit. But what do you prefer, and what skills do you bring to a point guard in particular?
I'm gonna say I prefer. Last year you asked me this question, and I couldn't give you an answer. But right now I prefer playing the point guard. Honestly, just because I like having the ball in my hands, and I like being able to call sets and know our advantages and where we need to take them.
Well, you've got to be a tough matchup for the opponent.
Yeah.
I mean, with your size, with your length, and you can shoot over the top of most other point guards, for if nothing else. Do you find it that you have an advantage that maybe you didn't realize at this time last year?
Yeah, if I see a point guard, someone 5'10", say, in front of me, I will post up very readily, and that happened a lot in the Newman game. To the point where they started doubling me, and I could dish it off and find assists. So I really like playing point guard, partly because of that, but mainly because, like, I like to see the floor and see where the pieces are going to be, and know how we can expose a defense.
Do you like the running game? Do you like to have the ball in your hands with the floor in front of you?
Yes, definitely, because you can see how everything unfolds and pick the right passes. So yeah.
Lots of new faces on this team. A couple of familiar ones, but lots of new ones. How has that been?
It's been a lot of fun, honestly. Like, seeing people come out of their shell. Like, over the first 3 or 4 weeks, like Clark Minifield wouldn't say like past 3 words, you know. And on his visit, he was exactly the same. But seeing people come out of their shell is really a lot of fun, and getting to know new people is a lot of fun.
Do you think you've come out of your shell a little bit in the year and a half you've been here?
I think I definitely have. I think at the start of the year, I was a little bit. At the start of last year, I was a little bit nervous.
Well, why would that be? Gee,
yeah, just to see what life was like. It was my first time in America. Like, right. I didn't know if the American people did anything different to what we did, but yeah, it was a lot of fun.
How about school? Was it tougher than what you expected? Easier? Where does it rank?
It was slightly easier than I expected, honestly. I know some classes here at Jewel are really no joke at all. But in England, I feel like school is really, really difficult, honestly. Especially the last 2 years of high school is what we call college, and we pick like 4 subjects to like specialize in, I guess, and that's usually like really difficult. So I came here, and it was, some classes were a lot harder, like Responsible Self was a lot harder, but some classes were a little bit easier. So
when you get done with school, when you get done with basketball, where is the future taking you?
I'm really not sure, to be honest. I'd really like to keep playing basketball as long as I can. But after that, like, I'm really not sure. I'm looking to major in business. Hopefully something to do with marketing comes along. That would be like my ideal career path. So yeah.
Speaking of talking last year, I think I asked you about your family last year, but would you go through that again? Tell us about your family.
So I have my dad, who's back in England. I have my mum, who's also back in England. My older brother plays basketball at Mid-America, Nazarene.
That's right, I'd forgotten about that.
It's his senior year this year. And I have a little sister who's also back in England who doesn't play basketball at all. So that's it's a little bit different there. But
so your brother actually led the way here. He was the first.
He did, yeah. He told me how much fun it was, and I saw him playing like on the internet. Saw him playing quite well. So I thought I could really do something.
Well, you've done some pretty amazing things, especially this last stretch of games since the semester ended. Been playing extremely well. Is there any reason? Has something changed? What is it?
I think this year I've been spending a lot more time in the gym than I did last year. I've been getting more shots up and really just trying to improve every aspect of my game. And it also helped bringing in guys like Matt Lassen, who are always in the gym. Clark's always in the gym, so I really just jump on other people's workouts, if anything else. So that really helped my game, I think.
That's Patrick Whelan, and we'll be back with more in a moment.